Hi kids, today we're talking about cochlear implants. Firstly, let's talk about the less advanced hearing aids. Hearing aids are used to amplify sounds to overcome deafness. They rely on the hair cells found in the cochlea but are rendered useless if the hairs are defective. So what do we turn to? We turn to cochlear implants. Why is that, you may ask? It's because they rely on the auditory nerve, not the hairs. This bad boy right here, that's a cochlear implant. So there are two parts, the external and internal. For the external, it includes a microphone that detects sounds, a speech processor that is used to select frequencies that are often used in speech while filtering out other unwanted frequencies, and also a transmitter that sends the processed sounds to the internal parts. For the internal parts, they're implanted into the mastoid bone behind the ear. Where's the mastoid bone? It's right behind your ear. Right there. It's one of the places I've thought about getting a tattoo. So the internal parts include a receiver that receives signals from the transmitter, a stimulator that converts the signals to electrical impulses, and different electrodes that carry the impulses to the cochlea. These electrodes stimulate the auditory nerve directly and bypass all those non-functional hair cells. That sounds like a complicated process. How did people come up with this? The creation of hearing aids and cochlear implants came from the discovery that electrical stimulation to the auditory system can create a perception of sound. Research on this topic came from the 1950s. Wow, that's a long time ago. They found that electrical stimulation could be used for perception of different frequencies, like music. One of these is probably a music frequency. Electronic engineers, neuropsychologists, and clinical audiologists researched in order to understand which frequencies were used to understand speech in order to develop the speech processors. Early versions of the cochlear implant were used on thousands of patients and has led to huge technological developments. Oh, teacher, does that mean if I have a cochlear implant and I'm kind of deaf, that I would get normal hearing again? Oh, you silly, naive student. No, patients can only get an improved and better version of their hearing. Not normal. Learning about cochlear implants is fun, but you know what's better? Learning about how your head movements are detected. Let's start off with this mess. First of all, it's 3 fluid-filled semicircular canals found in the inner ear. Each of them have a swelling at one end where there's a group of sensory hair cells that have hairs that are embedded in gel to create the cupula. Cupula. The head moves on one of the planes of the canals, causing the wall of the canal to move. But due to inertia, the canal fluid lags behind, causing a flow of fluid to pass the canal. This flow is detected by hair cells and then sends impulses to the brain. Good job, hair cells. At least you're good at that. Back to these semicircular canals, they're all at a right angle to each other, meaning they all cover a different plane. These angles allow them to detect head movement in any direction. Up, down, left, right, all of them. The brain deduces which direction it is by the amount of stimulation of the hair cells in each of the 3 semicircular canals. Hey boss, I think there's a lot of stimulation over here. No way, stop lying, it's all over here. I think we're moving to the right. So in conclusion, we learned about the cochlear implant, what it was, how it worked, what discovery led to it, and then we also talked about the head movements and how it's detected.